Let's take a few minutes to learn how to use the Gospel Living app to help you plan activities and help the youth set goals that are meaningful and attainable and exciting. Let's jump in. So open the app on your phone, and before we get into this first page, I want you to look at the icons at the bottom to help us navigate. There's Discover, Today, My Life, Circles, and Profile. We won't worry about profile today, but we will need to be able to navigate through the others. First, let's click on the circles icon down there at the bottom. Circles will automatically be generated for you after you've logged into your app through your LDS account. It will be based on your household, your ward, and your callings, and will put you into all the groups that you are a part of. I have Relief Society, I have all the adults in my ward, and I have my groups that are related to my calling in the Stake Young Women's Presidency, as well as my household. I'm also able to see my children's circles that they are involved in based on their age and the classes that they have as well. What's great about this is that if any of my children's leaders message them through this app, I will be notified with it as well. And I will be able to be in the know of what they're talking about, what they're planning, and that communication is really, really great. All right, let's go back, and you can use that circles to communicate through this app in lots of different ways. We'll come back to it a couple times. So let's go to the Discover app tool now. Sorry, not app. Let's click on that Discover page again. This will bring you back to this front page where you can see there are all kinds of things. There's memes, there's music, there's activity ideas and goal ideas. There are inspiring stories, all kinds of things, games, quizzes, little comics, and anything that you click on is completely shareable. So I can save it to my favorites if I really, really love it. I can add it to if it makes me think that I want to start a goal or create an impression about it or record something. Or I can click that last icon in the top right corner to share it, either with one of those circles that I have, or share it outside the Gospel Living app through a regular text message or a social media post. Everything here is completely shareable. It's kind of like a social media feed that is completely uplifting and full of great church content. All right, so say we're in a planning meeting with a class presidency and we're stumped. We need some activity ideas that are meaningful, that will go along with the children's and youth program area of goals that we want to focus on, the social, intellectual, physical, and spiritual areas. We want to focus on one of those. So let's go in that top right corner. This is where I can filter my preferences for that feed on the discovery page. So say I want to look for those activity ideas. So I will make sure activity ideas is the only one selected in the type of content. And then I want to do a social activity. So we are only going to select social. Now, when I hit that back arrow at the top of the page, it will repopulate that Discover page to show me just activities that might have to do with a social nature or a social goal. So say we get scrolling through here and we really love the idea of thanking our community helpers. So we'll click on that. Every activity that you click on will give you a purpose. It will give you an activity suggestion. It will give you adaptation ideas to help you think outside the box a little bit. And you might even come up with your own idea after reading these things. What I love is that it will have these discussion questions at the end. And pretty much all of them come back to a focus on Christ, which I think is a really good goal for your activities. It might even be fun to challenge your youth class presidencies to try and make every activity that you do focus back on Christ. Even if it's Frisbee golf, that would be kind of fun and a fun challenge. So say we want to adopt this goal. So we're going to click Adopt. And this takes us to a page where we can actually plan out our activity. We can choose a location. We can give a purpose. We can say what time we're going to start and what time we're going to end so that everyone's in the know. We can set a reminder to remind everyone an hour before. I can invite the circles that are involved if I would like to. I'm going to invite my household just for this training exercise, but you would, of course, pick your class or your youth in your ward. You can also add a photo if you would like, or a link if there's helpful information that you think that they should know before coming to the activity. And then you can click save. Oh, I didn't change my date. Let's have this be tomorrow. Okay, let's go ahead and save that. So it says my activity has been recorded and it will be in the Today section of the app. Let's click on Today. So today will take you essentially to your calendar. It does show you a day at a time. You can scroll though to the next day and you can see that activity that I just created. You can see that what time it says it is and that I created it. You can also see it's listed under my children's activities because I invited them as part of my household. So your children's activities will be there no matter who creates them, and you can have all of your youth activities all in one place so you can kind of keep track of things a little bit better. You can navigate from day to day with those arrows at the top, or you can drop down to a calendar view and move from side to side that way. Okay, so let's go back to the Discover page now and do the same thing we did for activities, but let's create a goal now instead. So if we tap that upper right corner again, and this time select Goal Ideas, and I want to look for a spiritual goal. And again, hit that arrow back. You get back to that front page, and now here's all these different spiritual goals that I could implement in my life and maybe adopt. I'm going to choose Pray with Purpose. So again, it gives me a purpose of the goal. It gives me goal ideas on how I can implement it. It gives me different related thoughts and talks or different things to help me in this goal. I'm going to go ahead and adopt it. So again, it brings you to now a goal planning page where you can say, this is my goal. I want to pray with purpose. You can add a further description if you want. I'm going to just click that it's my spiritual goal. It still links to that post from that front page, so that if you want to find those resources again. And then at the bottom, right before my keyboard, you can see there's a camera icon, a circles icon again, and a bell. The circles will just let you be able to share that with any of your circles. If you want to let your leaders or classmates or family or whoever know what goals you're setting, you can share it there. And you can also share a picture if it's probably not with this type of goal, but a lot of the goals as you're making progress, maybe you want to share some pictures. And then my favorite is this little bell you can select to give yourself a reminder, because sometimes we just love having those reminders on our phone. So go ahead and pick the day you want it to start. You say, I think the best time for me to focus on this might be, I'm just going to pick an arbitrary time. I'm going to say 7 o'clock at night every day. I want it to remind me daily, and I want to really focus on this for a month. So I'm going to put it to the end of May. That's really, I really want my focus. Not saying I won't pray more than that, but just this focus on this goal. So I'm going to say, pray with purpose. And now when I save that, it will be a little reminder on my phone that will tell me, hey, remember you have this goal. And it is really super helpful. So I'm going to save that. It gives me a little congratulations because it's my first goal that I've put in, and I will click OK. So now when I go to my Today bubble at the bottom, it will have added my goal reminder. And when I do pray with purpose, I can even come back in here and check it off and say, yep, I did that today. And it gives you a little attaboy there at the bottom. Completed, great job, which is a little motivator that's just built in. You can also access those goals by looking in the My Life button, and it will give you kind of a tracking goal of how far you are going along, because I kind of put it for a month. You can put it indefinite if you want. You can come back into that goal anytime and edit it or delete it or change it or in any way. And if you finish your goal completely, you can click that check mark at the top that you completed it. If you click that reflect button, it gives you a page to just write down the things that you've learned, or you can click share. And again, it brings you to circles where you can share your success with your family, your parents. The youth can share it with their youth leaders to let them know, hey, I finished this goal and this was awesome and this is what I learned. It's a really easy way to be able to communicate about all those things. So let's go back. So back to that Discover page. Again, you can, the it's just limitless. You can look for videos if you want a video to go along with a lesson. You can select them all, and you can just have some great things to filter through and scroll through. Maybe that's a really good way to scroll on a Sunday afternoon, you know. But anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. If you have more questions, feel free to come and talk to me, because maybe I can answer them, or maybe we can find it out together. But I hope that this will help you in planning meaningful activities that are Christ-centered and that the youth can take leadership of.